Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit today about a topic that I've seen coming through the door a lot lately and that I've been asked a lot lately, which is, um, hey, I have this weird pain or sensation or tingling or loss of feeling or just overall weakness or tightness in my leg. And I've been getting that a lot. And people are like, should I even see you? It's not really in my back. Or I have carpal tunnel, or I have a shoulder like that's frozen and not working the way it used to. Should I even come see you? It's not my back. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how sometimes pain in your body can be, in fact, stemming from the alignment of your back, pelvis, etc. Um, and also how chiropractors can treat more than just the spine. And then a little sort of surprise, chiropractic is not about back pain, little tidbit for you as well. So I'm going to get to that part first. So why, like, you're probably sitting there right now like, are you telling me chiropractors are not back doctors? Everything I've been told my whole life is a lie. I can't believe this. And no, I'm not necessarily saying that that we don't treat the spine and all conditions or most conditions related directly to the spine. Absolutely we do, but chiropractic is not centered around the spine. It is centered around the nervous system. And you're like, trick question, because the nervous system lives in the spine. And if you know that, you can basically be a chiropractor. No, I'm kidding. If you know that, then you're already off to a really good understanding of the body. That is correct. But chiropractic is all about removing interference from the nervous system so that it functions better. One way that the nervous system can tend to be interfered with is through the alignment of the bones in your spine and pelvis. Oh no, I left Fred in the other room. I'll be right back. Don't do anything fun without me. Okay. So this is Fred. So this is my spine that I like to go over anatomy with everyone that comes in, because a lot of times, like even when I went to chiropractic school, I remember in anatomy they were like, these are the bones, these are the muscles, these are arteries and veins, and I was like, yeah. Get to the nerves. So I really have no idea what those look like. I have no concept of how that works, what that system is in the body. Like we all kind of know, like your heart pumps blood and it goes through the body to various places. Muscles move bones. Bones are a skeleton. Like these are things we know, but the nerves, I was like, excuse me, could you explain a little further? Like what do nerves look like? And like, how are they connected? Like, is it just one long like string? And she was like, yeah. Heck, did you not know that? And I was like, no. And all my classmates were like, we didn't know either. And I was like, phew, because I was the only one that wanted to ask that question. Like, what is it with this nervous system thing? I've heard about it. I know it runs everything, but to me, it's just as mysterious as this computer I'm on right now. I'm like, I don't know how this thing works. It just thankfully turns on every day and does things I ask of it after making me wait an appropriate length of time and hopefully not messing up. But it is your body's controlled basically by like a computer as well. So your brain lives up here, right, in your skull. And then your brain gives way to your spinal cord, and your spinal cord lives within inside of these bones. So your spinal cord is so important. It runs everything, that it lives inside this like cage, right? Kind of like your heart and your lungs live inside of your rib cage. And so then the nerves that come off of your spinal cord exit the side of your spine here. And they exit through these little holes. Pretty tiny, right? Here, let me, there we go. These holes. So there's not tons of room. Now, nerves are really small. Like most nerves, especially like as they get further out into your fingers and toes, are like the size of dental floss. They're tiny. Some of them are bigger up here though, and some of them have little like called dorsal root ganglia. They have these little like balls, these pouches coming off the side. Anyways, but what happens is when bones get just stuck in a pattern and muscles tense up around them, this can create chemicals and sometimes also can impinge on the nerve itself. So sometimes there's actually pressure being put on a nerve by either a muscle, a bone, a disc, a ligament, etc. Sometimes it's a chemical cascade that's causing these the same symptoms. Doesn't really matter to me what's causing it, but something's interfering and we have to stop that to get you to feel better. And so the way we stop the interference is we go, hey, bone that is sitting on this other bone funny and it's all twisted, we go crack, and then it fixes it, and then there's no more interference. The muscles start to relax because that was what was telling your muscles to fire in the first place. And then we do a little bit of work on the muscles and everything's happy and good, so it can run perfectly. Inside of your spinal cord, there's little tracks and they go up and down sending messages. So one of those is has only to do with vibration. So a lot of people come in and they're like, what are all of these tools you're using? And I'm like, well, I'm using this tuning fork because it vibrates. And if I touch it to your body and you can't sense that there's vibration happening there, you've got a problem in a specific tract of your nervous system, and I know exactly where to look and how to help. And so that's the kind of tests that we do. We make sure you can sense whether something is sharp or dull, that you can sense whether something is a light touch, vibration, hot and cold temperature changes, strength of your muscles, your reflexes. All these things are giving us information about your nervous system, not which bone are you going to crack today for my back, right? Like that's the very small picture of what we're doing. But really we're assessing, kind of like running a diagnostic report on the computer that is running your body or your brain and your nervous system. So that's what chiropractic is centered in. So in that way, people say, should I even come to you for my leg pain? And I'm like, yeah, something somewhere is causing that. And you know what I would love more than anything? Thanks, Natalie, for the good information. I agree, but I'm kind of a nerd about this stuff. But so some of what can be, what was I saying? Interference in the nervous system, leg pain. Should I even come to a chiropractor? Okay, so yes, because I would love if the pain and symptoms that happen in the body were always caused by something right there. Like, so if everyone came to me and said, my thumb hurts, and every time all I had to do is look just right there where it hurts, oh man, I'd get bored. It'd be so easy. Okay, I'll just press on it, wiggle it around a little bit, problem solved. But it's hardly ever the case. There's usually something right there, and then something pulling on it from up here, and then something pulling on that from over here that's also underdeveloped, and then something like a nerve that runs this whole tract, and that's being pressed on somewhere along here or possibly up here, and then there's a bone, and then there's the fact that you talk on your phone like this every day, and that's what's causing it. So we have to play a lot of detective work, and it almost always is the case that what's causing the pain is not right where the pain is. And so, yeah, of course, I had a patient recently who gave me permission to use their story. So he came in and he's like, I hate massage. Bigger guy. He's just bulky. And he's like, hey, I don't know. I'm pretty big. I don't know if you're even going to be able to help me, but I thought I'd come in. And I was like, challenge accepted. Like, we'll be friends. And he was like, but you know, I don't have back pain. I've never had back pain a day in my life. All I have is this tingling in my calf and it won't go away. And someone said it could be back related. And I was like, well, what it absolutely is nervous system related. And so we started working on him, and sure enough, his pelvis was really out of alignment, and he just had a lot of inflammation around the area. And so when we started adjusting his pelvis, he started responding pretty well. When we did the muscle work, which he says he hated, it's like one of the only people I've ever met that hates their muscles to be pushed on. But he's like, can we do as little of that as possible? And I was like, yes, but I believe that when you treat the muscles and the bones and therefore the nervous system, and then you look at the body from a chemical inflammation standpoint, when you look at all of those things, are we truly going to get you better to where you're staying better, and that's your goal, right? Or did you want me to patch up your symptoms, make it feel better, and you can come back again when it for sure happens again? And he's like, no, are you crazy? Like, of course I want to come. Don't want to, like, I mean, you seem nice, but I like this to go away. And I was like, great. Then in that case, we have to look at it from every aspect. All right. Then he was on board. So we started adjusting his pelvis. His legs started getting better, but there's still a little bit of it. And it was switching spots a little bit. So then we went down into the leg, and I thought, Well, the nerve runs down the leg here, and then it branches off and dives in here and dives in there, and then this muscle runs over that. Let's try to relax this. So then we did some muscle relaxing and some massaging of that. Pain gone. Pain gone. And then he came back and was like, you know what? All the things I originally came in for are gone, but now my back is starting to hurt just a little bit, just for a day and a half. And I was like, yeah, we're probably uncovering the fact that your pelvis was like walking uneven every day, causing muscles to become tight in one side, and then causing that interference from both the back and the leg. It's all of it. It's also related. And so as we did a posture and a movement scan, and his posture was way better. I mean, he was like leaning this way, and now he's like standing up straight. And I'm like, we are correcting your gait pattern. We are treating now not just the symptom, not the next symptom, not the next symptom, but the underlying cause of what was going on. And he's like, this is great. Okay. So then his back pain went away. And the next visit, he's like, I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I'm here. And I was like, why? Are you hurting? And he's like, no, I haven't been hurting for a long time. I had that one day where I was hurting, things are great, but I'm glad I'm here because I was thinking about what you said. And I have a theory about what's causing this back pain and this posture problem. And he starts talking to me about how he sits on his wallet, and he's noticing that a lot of times he like leans to the side in his car and is driving that way for a long time. Anyways, what it boils down to is he wasn't so sure if little old me could help a big guy like him with just a little tingle in his calf, but he was willing to try. Fast forward down the road, and he's had like, I think like maybe 12 visits, but he's been here for like 6 months now. Now we know him. Know he loves Mustangs. Fun guy. Always looking forward to seeing him. Want to know how his vacation went recently. And so we got to know him, and he keeps coming, and he's like, yeah, this is great. So we've been able to spread those visits out over a long time, see lasting results, and finally get to the underlying cause, because it absolutely is not just back related. It's nervous system related. It's overall body function and posture related. And this is the kind of stuff where he's now noticing all kinds of things about his body that he didn't used to even catch on to or recognize as a little warning sign from his body. So that is my story. Surprise, we treat everything because we treat the nervous system. And if there's something that's going on in a part of your body that is not something a chiropractor should treat, for instance, sometimes people come in and they have really bad right shoulder blade pain. And I'm going, okay, your shoulder range of motion looks good. I'm doing all my tests. Everything's checking out. His spine looks great. And it just won't go away. And turns out you also have some digestive discomfort. I'm probably going to get some testing to check into your gallbladder, because it can be that related to your organs too. I have never done a gallbladder surgery in my life. I don't plan on starting anytime soon, and it's not my specialty. It can absolutely help to give you nutritional support and supplementation support for keeping a gallbladder healthy or assisting the gallbladder in its daily function and take the load off of it. But the second I think you might need to go get your gallbladder looked out, I'm going to refer out. So that happens too. We can treat everything or get a good idea of everything's function and rule out the easy stuff that's good for me to fix and send you out when we need to. And that's what I love about chiropractic, is you get to look at the body in such a unique way that is all encompassing. All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thanks for hanging out today, and I hope you have a good one.